Hey guys, this video is about Arabian affordable brands. So let's smell some perfume, shall we? I must admit that as a fragrance purist, which I feel like I'm becoming more and more, okay, I probably passed that line. I am a fragrance purist who loves naturals, who loves things to be original, all of that. I've had to approach this topic of Arabian perfumes that are affordable and a lot of the time dupes in a more particular way. I've had to be a bit careful. And so I've avoided things that were too obviously dupey, although I may pull out some bottles in this video where you guys are going to be like, Sam, that is a clone. That is a clone. Actually, take a step back. Dupes and clones are not the same thing to me. A dupe is something that smells similar to something else. A clone is a straight up copy paste, a straight up fast fashion, took it from the runway and then spat it out by using people in a sweat factory, right? So French Avenue is one of the brands that I very clearly avoided. Their packaging is beautiful. I walked towards them. They were really calling me in. And I would like to say that I have not bought any of these fragrances blindly. I have gone in and tried them in person because a lot of the time the descriptions online just don't add up and match with what you're smelling in real life. So I've decided to focus on the brand Lattafa, but steering away from the straight up clones. Lattafa has some bottles that look like Initio Parfum, like 100%, 1000%, the same bottle even. Although I might pull out some things in this video where you guys are gonna be like, Sam, that is a clone. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go through this together. We're all in this together. So the first perfume I'm going to talk about is called Khamrah, and this is Qahwa by Lattafa. I'm going to show you some of the packaging when it's kind of remarkable. And what I love about these affordable brands is actually how much they make out of the packaging. Like, why not make a big deal? They know that this is going to catch some magpies' attention, people who love something shiny, and it definitely caught my attention. So yes, I know what you're thinking. This looks very much like the Kilian bottles, and it does. And I will admit that, yeah, of course, that part seems to be a copy. But the fragrance itself, although this one is hailed or compared to Angel's Share by Kilian, it doesn't smell like Angel's Share to me. It doesn't. So I've included it in this video because it is this coffee praline deliciousness to begin with, and it's warm, and then it's also complemented by these wonderful luxurious tonka beans, and the dry down of this fragrance is maybe a bit meh, like it dries down a little bit more generic, but the beauty of this fragrance is in the beginning and the heart. It just opens up with this wonderful, luxurious, liqueur-like coffee thing, and the coffee is subtle in here. It's not like you're thinking, oh, who is pouring espresso in the background? Like, it's not that intense at all. So I appreciate a subtle coffee in this gourmand type of fragrance. So I do think that there is some beauty in a fragrance that develops fast in the way that, for example, if you are at the office, you could keep this at your desk. Say you have dinner plans, you could spray this on right before you head out the door, and it's going to work its magic for the first couple hours. You're really going to smell enticing, and then it's going to die off slowly so that by the end of dinner, no one's getting distracted by the fragrance that you're wearing. So Qahwa, it is worth every bit of the hype to me. I sprayed this on in a shop and I walked out and I was like just smelling it, and I had to rush back to this shop and get the fragrance. It was 30 something pounds. I will have the prices up for you guys, but Qahwa, if you're gonna get one, I feel like, unless this description really just sets you off, mind you, I'm not a person who is super into the cakey fragrances, and it's not cakey at all. But if the description sounds like something that you perhaps could be interested in, then definitely get Qahwa. This is like the best value for money fragrance out there, I would say, one of the top. The next fragrance from Lattafa that I'm gonna share is this marvelous looking snake surrounded lid, beautiful magical thing of a bottle. And I'm going to show you the box too for this one, because they really have, if you're thinking about gifting something that is a bit out of the norm, unusual, that your gift receiver, I guess, may not have seen before, then this one I think would be a winner, no? So Teriaq by Lattafa. The colors of this and the packaging kind of remind me of Prada Candy L'Eau from years ago, which was kind of like a gourmand light. So if you were suffocated by something super sweet, you would go for the L'Eau, which, you know, it was discontinued later on because it didn't last very long and people were complaining. But I digress. This smells nothing like Prada Candy L'Eau, but this does start off with a subtle caramel as well. And this like apricot-y, honey-like with almond mixture that, interestingly enough, then develops into something more woody. So it's kind of offset by the sweet and the woody, if you will. If you were to look at this fragrance by itself, you would think that it was like a princessy pink type thing. But what I find interesting about Teryak is that it isn't. Like, this is very gender neutral to me. And that is due to that offsetting with the woods in the base of this fragrance. It has this kind of leather muskiness in the dry down that surrounds you. And yeah, I find this one to be interesting as well. But again, there's something about the notes of these fragrances and how they smell like that just don't add up. So you definitely have to try these, or you have to go to a trusted nose or a nose that you're aligned with, like mine. If you're aligned with my nose, of course, then yeah, go for these descriptions. So there is a line by Lattafa. So I thought this was a separate brand, but it actually is part of Lattafa. Maybe it's like a luxurious side of Lattafa, I don't know. They look like this. So it's called Asdaaf. This one is called Ameerat al-Arab, which is Arabian Princess Prive Rose. This is interesting to me. It's probably inspired by something Delina-esque, like a Delina flanker. That's what it looks like, and it kind of gives you that impression to begin with. But it also is its own perfume to me, because it smells like a rose Turkish delight. If you've ever had one of those. Rose Turkish delight, delicious, very, very sweet, and then covered with this white powder all around it. If you are into your, let's say your violets, if you are into your Galin Insolence, things like that, your candied violets, this might be something that you like. For me, it strikes a chord because of that association. And yeah, I'm kind of watering in the mouth talking about this one, because it really does remind me of my favorite type of Turkish delight, which is the rose one. Beautiful, again, very affordable. All of these are EDPs and 100 ml, except for maybe the next one that I show you from Ameerat. So this one from Ameerat seems to be maybe 150 ml, which is pretty good value for money. I mean, I would have sworn the first time I saw this fragrance, the brown one, it was the same size and maybe had a similar cap to this one. But then the second time I go to the shop, it looks like this. So maybe that was just me. But this one is called Majal Sultan. And this one is for me, I'm just happy with this find because, okay, yes, again, I'll just show you the packaging and the lid with the leather on it. And this one is a mysterious fragrance. This one is different. If this is a clone of anything, you have to let me know, because I would want to know where the source came from for this fragrance. This is so mysterious and spicy and resinous and woody that it just ticks all the boxes for me. It has this incensey mystique to it. It smells like you've got like 100 ingredients thrown in there that then are the recipe to create one of the most marvelous dishes out there. To me, this is what perfumery is. Like a complex fragrance to me is this. All of these things thrown in together and then blended in so well that you can't really pinpoint what it is that you're smelling, but the whole thing put together is just really, really alluring. So Majal Sultan, I think this one was like, you know, they were labeled for men, for women, whatever. But I love both of these, and probably, yeah, I'm more likely to wear this one because of that spicy allure, that woody spiciness that isn't generic at all. Like, it really is a mysterious one. And it's a brown one. So they have a black one as well, which I haven't smelled, but it is specifically the brown one from Asdaaf. Okay, so the last one that we have is by Khadlaj is the brand. And I'm sorry, people who speak Arabic. I'm not an Arabic speaker, unfortunately. This is called Karus, and it is secret musk. So it's supposed to reveal the hidden secrets inside of you or whatever. I mean, the packaging for this one isn't anything special, but the bottle is borderline hideous to me. It doesn't do it for me like the other ones do. but it smells great. I have this one on a blotter from before, but this one is your typical Arabian musk, but leans sweeter. So you took your typical Arabian musk and you added some dulce to it, you know? You added some sweetness to it. Musk can go in so many different directions. You can go white, you can go floral, you can even go fruity musk. And this one is Arabian musk added in with some of the dessert. I think for me, and what grabs me every single time, is something that is tonka-y. There seems to be a tonka-y vibe into this one. So tonka is not vanilla, it's depthier than vanilla. It's like luxe vanilla for me. And so yeah, let's just say Arabian musk with tonka. Secret musk, check it out. I will have all of the prices on the screen. Do let me know, guys, if there are any other Arabian brands that you would like me to try. I do not blind buy. I will go to the shop and seek it out and smell it first, because even though the price is lower, it does add up, you know? It does add up. So thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it and learned something new maybe about these Lattafa fragrances from somebody who is very skeptical. And I will see you in my next one. Bye.